Okay, this is going out the Verdilla Road, the year they had the big drifts on the Verdilla Road. The drifts were much higher than the car. We stopped alongside of the drift and you couldn't see the car behind the drift at all. So it was not only a pretty deep snow, it was a blowing snow. And they had to get a bulldozer in there to get the road open at places. Here it's all pushed up on a pile. There we have a trailer there, and now that's when the tree house. You get the tree house up in the tree house and the sliding board. And this is the hoarfrost. It was a real cold morning, and the dew came off of the river, fog came off of the river, and turned everything white. Beautiful. Back to the beach. This time she's not fighting it. This was before, though. That's the reason. She's younger here. Mick's taking no chances. And there's Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown with a little black dog. Yeah. Well, she has a right to stand like Clara. She's just doing something her grandma did.
Bridget was her braid hanging down the back.
Yeah, Bridget. Well, that's right. She did have a long braid there for a while. Don't do that! What a bunch of hams.
Look how thin you were.
Yeah, look at that. I wasn't always fat. There's Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown was... That was my doggy. I think we should have taken more pictures of the animals we had instead of so much of the kids. Okay, now we have the Halloween.
Bridget.
That's Bridget?
That's Mickey.
What, Mickey's in the cat?
Yep.
That's Mickey, and the
Bunny
is Bridget. This is the tree, the maple tree outside of the house, and when it was really beautiful. And the leaves fell by the bushels. Can't even see the tree house in there, it's that many leaves. Oh, we got money.
What's Donna's birthday?
Donna's birthday. Donna's got the money. She's blowing out the cake.
7.
Huh?
She's about 7.
About 7. That would be her first year in school. Who's that? Oh, that's Patty there. And then now we go to Christmas again. Okay, the winter that Pappy and Grandma and Patty stayed with us when Pappy had his eye fixed, right? Well, they stayed with us, what, about 2 years? Because he cut that whole woods out while he was staying with us, didn't he?
No, he did that when
Oh, okay, then they lived in the trailer there while he was doing that. Okay, that's right. They lived in the house with us for just over winter, and then they had a trailer there they lived in for a few years. That was the first trailer we had where the barn was. Never saw a guy that got so many presents. Oh boy, look at those boots. He really liked those boots. I think he wore them to bed. And the airplane that flew on the end of a stick. Boy, she really looks.
Birthday.
Oh, and this, huh? Another one of Mickey's birthdays. There, he's really small there. Now this is Camp Corundenhaugh. When Shirley had the Girl Scouts, there was Shirley and let's see, who else? Who's that? We don't know who. That's Donna, I know that. There's Margaret Keller and the other one.
That's Patty Wolf.
Patty Wolf?
He lived out there.
And there's a couple girls. I don't know. He's a cutie. And that's where they had to take a shower. After they put the girls to bed, the ladies went out and took a shower under the... I'd love to have seen that. And this is what you call child brutality. Get him with the bullwhip.
Child abuse.
Child abuse. There we go. You can see he's really hurting. He loved it. He couldn't be more than 2 there.
Well, no, he was...
There's Ronnie. And dressed up to go. That was when he was at home from, what, Korea? And there's Susie Q. Poor dog took all kind of punishment from the kids. Back to the beach.
I think this was in Florida.
In Florida when we went to visit Pappy and Grandma. And we spent a lot of time feeding the gulls. My. You must be taking the picture here.
Well, since you're standing there, it had to be me.
Pretty well. Okay, this is another Christmas. We're back at the house. This must have been an earlier. Because look at the size of that tree. Clean up to the ceiling.
Tell by the kids. This may have been
How
the
would-
year we got the camera.
Year we got the camera, probably.
7.
It's probably the first time it was used.
We'll see what,
And there is the picture on the wall of the deer.
see what Mickey looks like here. No, this is later.
And that's he's bigger there. We got to get him where he's in the sink yet. Yay, boots. Donna holds the dartboard while Mickey throws the darts. Holy smoke. Okay, here we've got solid ice where water ran down over the hill and built up ice along the side of the barn. And an uncontrolled glide. That coming down's pretty good, but going back up is tough. And a sunrise over the river. I don't know who got up that early, but it must be a frosty morning. You can see a lot of snow over there in the island.
River.
Now we got it.
You don't have that. Down there.
No, yes, everything is fine. This is where they hooked up the horse. We hooked up the horse. Looks awful. I guess that was the best we did there. Well, the horse is named Beauty. This is the first time that Beauty was hooked to the cart, and she didn't take too kindly to it. But after she was used to it, why, she did real good. This was an Arabian pony the kids had. And just a little bit hairy sometimes. But a nice pony anyway. Yeah. One of the biggest problems was learning to drive. Pony did very good. Pappy Finn made the rig for us. Okay, we're back to that. Oh, look at the shape on that. Mickey was 3 years old. That was Robert Hess there. It'll get better here in a second. Yeah, somebody was being buried. There's Robert Hess going into Halfway Dam. I'd give you an idea of just what the water temperature was. It was just not quite ice. If it was any colder, it would have been solid. And here's where they played back and forth. We were doing, yeah. I had some boards there that I was overhauling something on the house.
Putting the siding on.
Oh, we put siding on the house, right. And the boards were for scaffolding. And I set this up for the kids, and everything went fine until they found out that they could get Mickey up in the air and then jump off, and he would bust his butt going down. and he went down hard enough to break a tooth one time. Now that's Esther, or Frankie Miles, and the other one was,
Oh, that's Donna and Mickey.
yeah, that's Don. Oh, there's Patty. And there's one of the first boats that we had. A little old wooden boat. I don't know where we're at.
That was down at
Chesapeake.
Bay. What was it?
The north end of the
Northeast.
Chesapeake,
It's
no, called Northeast in the Chesapeake Bay.
That was in 1957.
1957. And there's Skinny. And she's gonna splash the kids. That's no fair. There, they're gonna run her down. That's why she was so slender, because the kids were chasing her all the time, or she was chasing the kids, one or the other. If we had 3 kids for her to chase, she'd be slender now. And that was where we slept. That's where the skunk got us. The skunk would come in and take a piece of bread out of the box and leave us the rest of it.
That's Bridget's birthday. That's
And there's Ronnie's mustache. There he is on the tractor. That was a good little tractor until Russell and Sholly ran over it with the car, and that didn't do it any good. That was a heavy-duty tractor. And there's the Taunus. We had just got done overhauling the transmission, and he helped me overhaul the transmission. He was just leaving, going back to camp.
Donna's birthday, I guess.
Looks like
2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah,
it's Donna's cutting the cake, so it must have been her birthday.
2, 4, 6, 8.
And they all got to spit in the cake.
So that was
8.
1958.
1958. Christmas, and who was that?
One of the girls. With
Too
them
fast
girls.
here. There's,
That was me.
that was you. And again, the tree, that ceiling is 9.5 feet. 11.5 feet, and we generally had a tree that just about, and sometimes actually touched the top of was bent over from the ceiling. So we always had a big tree. What does he have, guns on there? He has a cowboy outfit. Another snow scene, wet snow. The trees behind the house are all weighted down. Someone walking across.
Woo.
Oh, I didn't know that you don't do that. Ah, now we're sleigh riding. Here we come on a piece of tin. When we started out, you can see there's very few tracks there. It didn't take long with the piece of tin and the sleds to build us packed it down so that the sleds could go. Look at that. All the way. At this time there was no pond there. All the way down and around. There comes the dog. Oh, that's right. That was a cat. The cat would go along up sleigh riding with us. Woo!
Here you come on the piece of
Uh-oh, look out. You could see somebody with the camera get out of the way, too.
That's Donna.
Donna. There she comes down the hill. Whoa, boy. There was a few rough spots in there.
Well,
Oh, Lord, there's the old piano. There they come.
This was the first year we had the camera.
The first year we had the camera. Okay, what year would that be? Well, he wasn't very big. He was about a year and a half old. He must have been in a diaper because something was pinching him there. Either that or he was going to the movies and he was picking his seat. There you go. Oh boy. And there's Patty. This is when... Okay, this is when the winter that they lived with us. There's Granny. Granny Pappy. There's Skinny. And she got some underwear. They all got underwear. I think I got a claw hammer that year. There was one year that I got a claw hammer about in that area. Yeah, I smoking a cigarette and I got to play with his toys. There we go. Now you can see what there's 57. Okay, and there's the sign. And they got everybody got new clothes and new shoes, and Mickey got a bath. And again, we had some kind of a starvation deal because we didn't have enough food to break the table down. Not quite. And that was Ann Shawley. There she is. She was at that age. And there's Nettie Shawley and Olivia Shawley. And there's the dog. And Russell Shawley. He's set out in the alcove. There's Audrey Finn Troutman. Getting everybody lined up to take pictures. Claude Troutman. Now we're back over at... Was that there?
I guess it was back
At Audrey's? Yeah, we were back at Olivia's. There's Russell. Russell, he's stood on his head. And there it is. Now Patty, Bridget, and... Yeah, okay. And who the rest of them are, can't tell. Pat's doing okay. She must have been about, what, 14, 15? They had a ball. Now this was down at the park, on the ice at the park, because we didn't have that big a piece of ice. That's the whole town's out on that.
No snow, tough sledding.
Tough sledding is right. June Finn. I don't know where that is. Janie Finn.
It's in the driveway.
It's our driveway. Here we go, down over the hill again with a dog running on behind. Boy, that dog could really run. Whoever was Pat, and she bailed off because the road was coming up on her. And this is another year too. Every year we had new snow, and this was before the pond was built. We didn't make it that trip. Is that me?
Mickey, you and Mickey.
Mickey and I? Oh boy, that road's coming up. There was 3 of them on us. Must have been Pat on us. Yeah. Oh, we're making a snowman now. Another snowman. Snowman always got made out under this tree in the yard.
Mickey and the cat.
Yeah, that cat loved to go along. There the cat is again. There it shows the cat. And we think this was Mickey's first time up in the sliding board. And this was before I had the tree house put up for them. Yeah, there's no tree house there at this time. Later on we built a tree house and then used a sliding board to get up into the tree house. This is the ice going down the river. We had spring breakup. There was sheets of ice as big as a house that come down there and flip up in the air and over. So we just got a small amount of it. But when the ice went, you could hear it in the middle of the night. That must have been my birthday. And there's Bandy Schaefer sitting in the kitchen.
In the
Dining room. And the kids they learned to ride on the where we had taken the barn down.